in the Cayman Islands in 1982. It is a lifestyle sport in the Caymans where 3 generations of women often play in the same Saturday leagues. The green sea turtle is on the flag representing their history as Las Tortugas. They may be methodical, but like the turtle, they are resilient and steady. Next up is the nature isle of Dominica, a rugged mountainous country with 365 rivers and the Caribbean's only surviving population of indigenous Kalinago people. Their sporting DNA is all about endurance, and because of the island's vertical terrain, Dominican athletes are famous for their high altitude stamina and their mountain lungs. A community-focused sport is netball in Dominica. The Dominica Netball Association has a long history of punching above its weight in the OECS and Jean-Pierre tournaments. And the green of Dominica, and especially the color purple on the flag, the Cicero parrot is also on the flag. It's the only nation to feature that color, symbolizing the rarity and the uniqueness of spirit. Next up, we have St. Kitts and Nevis, the Sugar K, the Twin Island Federation with a rich history of sugar production and a vibrant sugar mass carnival culture. Their sporting DNA is all about explosive speed. The St. Kitts and Nevis is a world leader in sprint athletics per capita, and that fast twitch energy translates directly into their flat and fast netball style. Their netball heritage is rooted deeply in primary and secondary school systems of both Bassier and Charlestown. The 2 stars on their flag represents hope and liberty, and the 2 islands of the Federation playing as one. Next we have on the court St. Lucia, the Helen of the West, known for the majestic pitons, the Gros Piton and Petit Piton. St. Lucia has a French Creole heritage that gives the island a unique cultural zest. Their sporting DNA is to be structured and resilient. St. Lucian sports are built on a foundation of strong school-based academies. Consistently at the top of the crop in the Windward Islands, they have established themselves as the bronze standard, always knocking on the door of that TNT Barbados final. St. Lucia uses the imagery of the pitons, and this describes their defense: imposing, immovable, and reaching for the skies. Well, that chair should tell you it is the host country, Trinidad and Tobago, up next. The Twin Island Republic, the cultural powerhouse of the Caribbean and the birthplace of steel pan, calypso, and soca. A nation that has produced Brian Lara and Hazley Crawford. TNT's athletes are known for their rhythmic, high-energy style. Trinidad and Tobago is the only country to ever win a World Netball Championships. They shared the title with Australia and New Zealand back in 1979. Netball is a legacy sport here in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's deeply rooted in community or village leagues. The red, white, and black, the national colors of Trinidad and Tobago, representing the sun, the earth, and the dedication of the people. The host country, Trinidad and Tobago, well represented here at SPEC in St. Augustine. So host country Trinidad and Tobago making their way onto that starting position just in front of the judges. The parade of the bands are introducing the 7 participating countries. Teams will be marching onto the court here, as you see, and we will soon have the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. And the music that you're hearing is the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service Marching Band, cornerstone of national pageantry, known for their high-energy performances that blend military discipline with the vibrant musical culture of Trinidad and Tobago. And they are playing one of the top soca hits of 2026, Take Me Home. And also we have the officials coming on to make their appearance here in front of the crowd at the SPEC. So the Fire Services Band providing great accompaniment for the teams as they make their way onto the court here at SPEC St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago. And now we'll have the national anthems of the different countries. We start with the home country, the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago, Forged from the Love of Liberty. National anthem played on the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago, and the national anthem composed by Patrick Katsani. The anthem was originally written for the West Indies Federation, but was adapted by Trinidad and Tobago upon independence back in 1962. We will have the national anthems of the other countries involved, the other 6 countries coming up. Right now, we're hearing from Pamela Cumberbatch, the Master of Ceremonies for today. here at St. Augustine. This is the University of the West Indies Sports and Physical Education Center here, the centerpiece of sport in the University of the West Indies. And the inspection will be taking place shortly. So right now we are having the host, Ms. Pamela Cumberbatch, inviting the inspection team, which is composed of Debian Francois and Rafina Paul. Dr. Bridget Adams-Seeley was supposed to be with them, along with Senator David Nakid. Unfortunately, a couple of the inspection party were unable to make it. So we will have the inspection party meeting first Antigua and Barbuda. And Antigua and Barbuda, the land of 365 beaches. Inspection over, they now go to Barbados, where the captain of the Barbados team will take the officials around to meet the team. Barbados has such a rich heritage in all sports here in the Caribbean. Olympic medalists in track and field, one of the greatest teams in, of course, in cricket in the Caribbean, also very strong in sport. Dominica also being inspected at the moment, the Nature Isle, and they've now moved on to Grenada. We were told that St. Kitts and Nevis would be participating in the tournament, but we haven't seen their team. Of course, we'll find out why that is. St. Lucia is very much here, the Helen of the West. Top of the crop always in the Windward Islands. And finally, the host nation, Trinidad and Tobago, their captain meeting the officials. One of the powerhouses of netball in the Caribbean. And the officials now being met by the inspection party. So the inspection of the team just about almost completed at the moment. We will have official remarks coming up shortly. And remarks are to be done by the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Netball Federation. We'll also have representatives from Caribbean Netball and America's Netball to deliver addresses at the moment. Fire Service Band will be playing one of their hits. They just played one of the great hits from Ras Shorty Eye, in case you didn't recognize the melody a few moments ago. And now we'll hear the teams marching on. And the first team to go off is Antigua and Barbuda, and they will be followed by Barbados. Next, the Cayman Islands. After the Cayman Islands, it'll be Dominica heading off, followed by Grenada. The Isle of Spice, physical and high intensity. The Grenadian athletes always bring it, and I'm sure they will here in this netball championship. After Grenada, the St. Lucia team making their way off, followed by the host country, Trinidad and Tobago. And the officials for the tournament heading off after host country, Trinidad and Tobago. So the teams will be heading off. They will have some lunch and then they will prepare for the upcoming matches this afternoon here at SPEC, St. Augustine, Trinidad. Always great, the music produced by the TNT Fire Service Band. Always produce a very high standard of music for any event they're involved in. TNT Fire Service Band, away to the right of your picture. So this is the opening ceremony of the 22nd Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament here in St. Augustine, Trinidad. So now we'll have opening remarks from Debbie-Ann Francois, the head of local netball. From Caribbean Netball, Rufina Paul will address the audience. Rufina Paul. We'll now hear from the representative of World Netball, and that is due to be the netball legend of Trinidad and Tobago. President of Netball Americas, it is the netball legend of Trinidad and Tobago, Bridget Adams, who participated in 3 Netball World Cups.
It means 20 years
is the TNT Netball legend Bridget Adams. Bridget once won 7 consecutive individual shooting competitions at the Caribbean Championships. In one of them, back in 1991, she's the only one to achieve a perfect score. In 1991, she shot 20 goals out of 20 attempts. So a sharp shooter herself, and also some cutting remarks there about the lack of the fact that the tournament should have been hosted at the Pierre complex, which is still under reconstruction at the moment, but also rendering her appreciation for the management and staff of SPEC for hosting this wonderful tournament. The athlete's oath will now be done by the athlete from the home country. This is part of the ceremony. You also have the oath from the officials and the umpires.
Good evening, everyone. I, Georgia, pledge on behalf of all the athletes to play in the true spirit of friendship and sportsmanship.
And now the official's oath. And finally, the umpire's oath at this time. The ceremonial segment is just about over. The games have been declared open by Dr. Bridget Adams Seeley. We are just about ready to get underway with the action.
We now invite Dr. Bridget Adams Seeley to officially declare.
Well, she had preempted it slightly by declaring it open, but here's the official part now by Dr. Bridget Adams Seeley to declare the games open. There we are underway here in SPEC St. Augustine, Trinidad. The 22nd Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament is officially opened by Dr. Bridget Adams Seeley. The official mascot is just about to be revealed. Mascot of the tournament, and they're just about ready to make their appearance here at the opening ceremony. I hope Melanie is not a little bit shy at the moment. There is the official mascot. She doesn't look shy at all, coming out with the headdress that's reminiscent of the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago. The steel pan created in Labantil, Trinidad, just on the eastern side of Trinidad and Tobago's capital, Port of Spain. And holding the pom-poms in her right hand, and on her right hip there is a hat that looks a little bit like a netball. It looks like, it's really a cap, but it looks like half of a netball, designed in the fashion of the official netball that is going to be used in this tournament. And the visitors to Trinidad and Tobago are enjoying the sight of the mascot Melody. mascot performing to, in case you didn't recognize the tune, that was Machel Montano, the Trinidad and Tobago reigning Road March winner for 2026. Give them performance, and certainly I'm sure that the Trinidad and Tobago team will be ready to give them, as the old saying goes here in TNT. And certainly that song was very much in action at the Carifta Games over the weekend, where it became almost like a by-phrase for the TNT team, giving them performance in Grenada, where Trinidad and Tobago won 35 medals. And that was the vote of thanks delivered by the LOC chair, Miss Odette John Duncan. So that is the end of the opening ceremony here at the opening of the 22nd Jean Pierre Youth Netball Tournament, the 22nd edition, hosted here by the defending champions Trinidad and Tobago. And Trinidad and Tobago will be featured in the opening game, and they will be coming up against the Cayman Islands here in this one. And since the inception back in 1998, this tournament has never failed to produce at least one future international superstar per team. And this venue in particular is a venue where academic excellence meets elite athleticism. It's done its part, a great part, in producing fine athletes here in Trinidad and Tobago. So that was the Master of Ceremonies, Ms. Pamela Kamabach, smoothly getting us through the opening ceremony here. So the flags are raised, the oaths are taken, and the future is officially ignited. We'll move from the pageantry to the pavement, so to speak. The defending champions Trinidad and Tobago will be taking their positions in a short while. The Cayman Islands are ready. The 22nd Jean Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament is about to begin. We'll have that opening game. And don't forget the games that were due to be played today. Second game, Barbados versus Grenada. Dominica was due to play St. Kitts and Nevis. That game is now under doubt because we did not see St. Kitts and Nevis here at the opening ceremony. And Antigua and Barbuda will be playing St. Lucia. Of course, we'll get an idea of why that was. So those are the games that will be played today. Thanks so much for joining us for the opening ceremony. We'll have live action on the first match, TNT versus the Cayman Islands, shortly.
Sports Stream TT. Never want to miss a moment of your child's sporting development? Sports Stream TT is an innovative sporting recording company which is in the eyes and ears of the parents, coaches, and sporting clubs. Contact us at 292-5357. Email sportsstreamtt@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram, Sports Stream TT. We can